This will be the final video that you watch for this lecture, but this kind of puts the book in now on kind of these three parts: fair use, the amounts of materials that you can use, and now the citation piece. Kind of remember with the amounts that we talked about, I always think of that as a glass half full rather than a glass half empty. I know we tend to complain and so forth. It's like, well, I'm a teacher, I should be able to use all this stuff and everything. But again, remember, we're using things that belong to someone else. If it's your own stuff, wonderful. But I think we have to be mindful that other people, it's their property. And so how do we treat that property? And then for them just giving us even a piece of it can help us. And I think that's the way we look at it. So now fair use tells you kind of the rules of whether you can use it at all. Once it's passed the fair use test, then you think about, okay, how much of it can I use? And now the third part is, now that I'm using it, I have to cite it. So proper attribution must always be given, okay? And so now in this course, starting now, if you use things that are not your own, okay, but we've been pretty good about that so far. A lot of what you've done is your own creation. But from now on, you will have citations that denote what you've used, whether it's an image, whether it's a piece of music, whether it's part of a video, whether it's even part of a text, okay? Again, make sure you go and read those, how much of the written text can I use? Okay, so just a couple things. What we do in the School of Education, and I think for your other classes as well, education usually use APA style. Some of you that are familiar with English and maybe in high school you might have used MLA, you might have used Chicago. Those are reference styles. APA is the American Psychological Association, and that's who we follow. And so if you just look up periodical book, APA periodical, APA book, it will show you how to do that, okay? And we are going to be following those. You can't just, what you'll see in elementary school is you'll see that they'll just put the web page address and then that's good enough. It really isn't. We should be even teaching our students how to do this. Now, I'm not saying first graders or kindergartners or obviously preschoolers, but you know what? Our fourth, fifth, sixth graders, they can start doing this, especially when they have a tool such as this. Guys, there are a lot of online citation makers, basically. And so I would encourage you to try a few of them out and see which one you like the best, okay? The one that I'm giving you here is BibMe, and then if you look at page 5 in that AEA condense, you'll see that they have a couple others there too. One called Citation Machine, and they have another one by Palomar cited. But I like BibMe. I think it's really easy. You can barely see it on the screen, but all you have to do is click the book. If it's a book, if it's a magazine, if it's a journal, if it's a website, and then you fill in the information, and then over in the right, it will come up with the right citation. You just have to make sure that you have it saved APA, you know, that you've selected APA. And then you just copy it and then put it wherever it needs to be, whether it's in the project, whether it's in a paper, whatever, okay? Google has some great reference tools too, so we'll make sure that we cover that very soon so that you can see those as well. But it's very, very slick, very, very important. Okay, so starting now, we will expect that if there are pictures or something in your projects and things, we'll want you to, you know, have citations with that too. In our course, a lot of times the citations become part of your reflection. We just ask you to put your citation list at the end of your reflection, but depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, it could become a part of the project or whatever too. Okay, so that's it. I will just leave you again with that notion of how important it is to be an ethical educator. And then with that responsibility falls that we need to encourage our students or model for our students so that they are ethical about creating, making things. Very, very important. So, I hope what you do is as you proceed in this course, this will be one thing that we will look for. Hopefully, you will continue to develop your kind of knowledge and understanding and comfort with copyright, fair use, and how it's used in classrooms. So again, very, very important, that ISTE standard for teacher number 4. I think that's one that you can always key in on when you're, especially when you're making your projects and when you're writing your reflections. Hopefully we have covered that, but there's still work, there's always work to do in terms of understanding and learning more about it. But I feel like in this course, what we have given you is the basics. Okay, so you guys have a terrific rest of the weekend, and I will see you next Tuesday in class.